and flies. Catch 'em all alive, alive, catch 'em all alive.
Touch and go, touch and go. Have you any work for kind art, the tooth drawer, touch and go?
All kinds of fancy chairs, easy armchairs. Will you buy a pretty basket, clothes basket, cheap basket, flower basket with all kinds of chairs?
Where are you, fair maids, that have need of our trades? I'll sell you a rare confection. Will you have your faces spread either with white or red? Will you buy any fair complexion? Mid drugs and old dregs, I have whites of eggs, made in a rare confection. Red leather and surflit water, scarlet colour or Stavy's acre. Will you buy any fair complexion? Room for company, here comes good fellas. Room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Cobblers and broom and jailers and loom, and room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Butchers and tailors, shipwrights and sailors, room for company, well may they fare. Room for company, here comes good fellas. Room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Paviours, bricklayers, potters and brickmakers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Pinners and pewterers, plumbers and fruiterers, room for company, well may they fare. Oh, room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Pointers and hosiers, salesmen and clothiers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Horse coursers, carriers, blacksmiths and farriers, room for company, well may they fare. Oh, room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Colliers and carvers, barbers and weavers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Sergeants and yeomen, farmers and ploughmen, room for company, well may they fare. Oh, room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Bell founders, fellsmongers, bellows menders, woodmongers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Pump makers, glass makers, chamberlains and mat makers, room for company, well may they fare. Oh, room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Collar makers, needle makers, button makers, fiddle makers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Fletchers and bowyers, drawyers and sawyers, room for company, well may they fare. Room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Cut purses and cheaters and bawdy house doorkeepers, room for company in Bartholomew Fair. Punks, iron pandas and cashiered commanders, room for company, ill may they fare. Room for company, here comes good fellas, room for company in Bartholomew Fair.
My mother to heaven is gone, £10 she gave me. Now never a penny's left, as God shall have me. Yet still my heart is free, I'd live at liberty, and keep good company, taking tobacco. Old woman, fare thou well, thanks for thy kindness. My plough and cart are gone with my good geldings. I have no foot of land, nor one groat at command. Which way then shall I stand to a pipe of tobacco? My purse will chink no more, my pocket's empty. I am turned out of door, farewell, good company. Friendship now slender grows, poverty parteth those that for drink sell their clothes and for tobacco. My cloak is laid to pawn with my old dagger. My state is quite overthrown, how shall I swagger? Yet I'll do what I can, and be no coward then, but prove myself a man at a pipe of tobacco. Upon a proper nag, daintily paced, to London first I came, all with gold laced. Then with my punk each day rode I to see a play. There went my gold away, taking tobacco. Pick, thatch, and Clerkenwell made me so merry, until my purse at last began to grow weary. Yellow starched bonny Kate, with her fine nimble pate, cozened me of me plate with a pipe of tobacco. After to Shoreditch then stood I beholding, where I found sinners' store of the devil's moulding. I speak for no slander, the punk and her ponder, like a goose and her gander, took whiffs of tobacco. Then straight to Westminster made I adventure, to find good fellows who willed me to enter, where I felt such a smoke as might the devil choke. There went away my cloak with the smoke of tobacco. Now farewell, good fellowship, London, I leave thee. Never more whilst I live shall they deceive me. Every street, every lane holds me in disdain. London has wrought my bane, so farewell, tobacco.
As I was going to Tottenham upon a market day, there I met with a pretty young maid, clothed all in grey. Her journey was to London with buttermilk and whey.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
Good morning, pretty damsel, you are well overtook. With that she cast her head aside and gave to me a look. She was as full of lechery as letters in a book.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
We both jogged on together, even side by side, until this young man was aware her garter was untied. For fear that it would trip her, your garter's down, he cried.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
Kind sir, I do entreat you for to take the pain to do me such a favour as to tie it up again. That will I do, quoth he, when we come on yonder plain.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
When they came on yonder plain upon a pleasant green, the young girl spread her legs abroad and the young man fell between. Such a tying of a garter I think was never seen.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
She made to him low curtsies to thank him for his pain. The young man is to Highgate gone, and the maid to London came to sell off her commodity. She thought of it no shame.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
And when she'd done her marketing and all her money told, when she thought on the matter, it made her heart grow cold. But that which will away, quoth she, is very hard to hold. old.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
The tying of her garter cost her a maiden hand. She said it is no matter, it stood me in small stead. And oft times it has troubled me as I lay in my bed.
With me foul the Larry, foul the hairy, foul the malaria.
In Newry town I was bred and born. At St. Stephen's Green I die in scorn. I've served me turn to the saddling trade. I always were a roving blade. At 17 I took a wife. I loved her dear as I love me life, and to maintain her fine and gay, a robin went on the highway. And when me money it did grow low, on the highway I was forced to go. I robbed both lords and ladies bright, carried home the gold to me heart's delight. I never robbed no poor man yet, nor any tradesman I caused to fret. I robbed both lords and ladies bright, carried home the gold to me heart's delight. I robbed Lord Goldring, I do declare, and Lady Mansell in Grosvenor Square. I shut the shutters and bid them good night, carried home the gold to me heart's delight. To Covent Garden I made me way, with me blooming wife for to see the play, where Fielding's gang did me pursue. Taken I was by the cursed crew. Me father cries I am undone, me mother moans for her darling son. Me wife she tore her golden hair. What shall I do? I'm in deep despair. And when I'm dead and in me grave, a decent funeral let me have 6 highwaymen to carry me. Give them broadswords and sweet liberty. 6 blooming girls to bear my pall. Give them white gloves and ribbons all, and when I'm dead they'll tell the truth. He was a wild and a wicked youth. And when I'm dead they'll tell the truth. He was a wild and a wicked youth.
It's of a London Cockney, as I shall now relate. He went into the country to find himself a mate. He went into the country to find himself a mate. Oh, there he rode until he came to a public town, and there he alighted, and he drank at the Crown. And there he alighted, and he drank at the Crown. A beauty fair damsel appeared all in his eyes, which made him to tarry, and therefore to bide, which made him to tarry, and therefore to bide. Oh, he said, my fair damsel, if you will be mine, then all the gold and silver I have shall be thine. Then all the gold and silver I have shall be thine. A ploughboy was standing by, and hearing him say so, he said, "My London Cockney, I know what I know." He said, "My London Cockney, I know what I know." We will take up our arrows and go to fighting field. Oh, we'll fight a good battle and win her goodwill. Oh, we'll fight a good battle and win her goodwill. After that the ploughboy, he gave him such a blow. So now, my London Cockney, I know what I know. So now, my London Cockney, I know what I know. Oh, it ne'er shall be said, it's all on a plough bench, that a ploughboy was not willing to fight for his wench, that a ploughboy was not willing to fight for his wench. Oh, carry me to London and there bury me. Oh, don't let me die in a strange country. Oh, don't let me die in a strange country.
Now in St. James's there lives a lady, and she was a beauty fine and fair. Down near St. James's there lives a lady, worth £20,000 a year. Now this young lady was fully resolved, no mortal man his bride she be, unless it been some man of honour, who had been in war by land and sea. Now then there was two loving brothers, a courting of this lady gay, saying which of them should best the other, saying which of them should best the other. Now one of them had a captain's commission, belonging to our colonel's corps, and the other was a bold lieutenant, belonging to some man o' war. Then she ordered a coachman for to get ready, unto the Tower for to drive she. There she should spend one single hour, the lions and tigers for to see. The lions and tigers made such a roaring, all in that den she threw a fan, saying, which of you will win this lady? Go fetch me out my fan again. Oh, then up spoke the faint-hearted captain, saying, Madam, your offer I don't approve. All in that den, that great den of danger, I never will venture my life for love. Oh, then up spoke the bold lieutenant, his voice did sound both loud and clear. All in that den, that great den of danger, my life I'll venture for you, me dear. So in that den he straightly entered, The lions and tigers looked fierce and grim, but he never saw the least of danger. But he looked so fierce at them again. But when they found that his blood was loyal, down at his feet they all did lie. And then he stooped and the fan he gathered, and so he brought it safe away. But when she saw her true love was coming, oh, how she caught him all in her arms. Oh, how she hugged him and how she hugged him, saying, take the prize that you have won. Through the Royal Exchanges I walked, where gallants in satin did shine. At midst of the day they parted away at several places to dine. The gentry went to the King's Head, the nobles unto the crown, the knights unto the Golden Fleece, and the ploughmen to the clown. The clergy will dine at the Mitre, the vintners at the 3 Tons, the usurers to the devil will go, and the friars unto the nuns. The cheater will dine at the Chequer, the pickpocket at the blind alehouse, till taken and tried up Oban they ride, and make their end at the gallows. The plumber will dine at the fountain, the cooks at the Holy Lamb, the drunkards at noon to the man in the moon, and the cuckolds to the ram. The rovers will dine at the Lion, the watermen at the Old Swan, the boards will to the Negro go, and the oars to the naked man. The fishmongers unto the dolphin, the bakers into the cheat loaf, the turners unto the table will go, where they may merrily quaff. The osiers will dine at the Leg, the drapers at the sign of the Brush, the Fletchers to Robin Hood will go, and the spendthrift to Beggar's Bush. The goldsmiths to the 3 Cups, their money they count as dross. Your Puritan to the pewter can, and your Papists to the cross. The weavers will dine at the Shuttle, and the glovers will into the glove. The maidens all to the Maidenhead, and the true lovers unto the Dove. Thus every man in his humour, from the north unto the south. But he that hath no money in his purse may dine at the sign of the Mouth. Oh, fire, 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 I sing that have more cause to cry. In the great chamber of the king, a city mounted I. O London that hath stood in state above 600 years, in 6 days' space, woe and alas is burned and drowned in tears.
The 2nd of September, in the middle time of night, in Pudding Lane it did begin to burn and blaze outright, where all that gazed were so amazed at such a furious flame. They knew not how or what to do that might expel the same. It swallowed Fish Street hill, and straight it licked up Lombard Street. Down Cannon Street in blazing state it flew with flaming feet. Down to the Thames whose shrinking streams began to ebb away, as thinking that the power of fate had brought the latter day. With hands and feet in every street they pack up goods and fly. Pitch, tar and oil increase the spoil, old Fish Street gins to fry. The fire doth range up to the change, and every king commands. But in despite of all its might, the stout old Faulkner stands. At Temple Church and Holborn Bridge and Pike on it is stretched. The water did the fire besiege, at Aldersgate it quenched. At Cripplegate, though very late, and eke at Coleman Street. At Basinghall the fire did fall, we all were joyed to see it. Although the fire be fully quenched, yet if our sins remain, and that in them we still are drenched, the fire will rage again. Or what is worse, a heavier curse in famine will appear. Where shall we tread when want of bread and hunger draweth near? If this do not reform our lives, a worse thing will succeed. Our kindred children and our wives will die for want of bread. When famine comes, 'tis not our drums, our ships, our horse or foot that can defend, but if we mend, we never shall come to it.
There was a lass of Islington, as I've heard many tell, and she did with a vintner me to like this maid full well. Sir, if I lie with you one night, as you propound to me, I do expect that you should prove both courteous, kind, and free. And for to tell you all in short, it will cost you £5. A match, the vintner said, and so let this go round. But when he had lain with her one night, her money she did crave. Oh, stay, quoth he, the other night, and thy money thou shalt have. This maid she made no more ado, but to a justice went, and unto him she made a moan, who did her case lament. She said she had a cellar let out to a vintner in the town, and how that he did then agree £5 to pay her down. The justice straight then sent for him to ask the reason why that he would pay this maid no rent, to which he did reply, although I hired a cellar of hers and possession it was mine, I never put anything into it but one small pipe of wine. This fair maid, being ripe of wit, then straight replied again, there was 2 butts more at the door, why didn't you roll them in? The justice hearing of their case then did give order straight, that either money should pay down, she should no longer wait. And when the money she had got, she put it in her purse, and clapped her hand on the cellar door, and said it was never the worse, which made the people all to laugh to see this vintner fine, outwitted by a country girl about his pipe of wine.
'Twas through Moorfields I wandered, by myself all alone. I heard a maid in Bethnal a-making her sad moan. She was wringing of her tender hands and a tearing of her hair, crying, "Oh, cruel parents, you have proved to me severe. It's all through my own true love, apprentice lad, you know, and he was pressed to go to sea, which proved my overthrow, which caused me sadly to lament and turn at my poor brain, crying, oh, shall I ever see my own true love again? It was early the next morning this young sailor came on shore. He walked and he talked down longside by Bethnal door, and he gave unto the porter a broad piece of gold, saying, "Bring that young girl to me, she's the joy of my soul." He took her from her strawy bed and set her on his knee, saying, "I am that same young man your parents pressed to see, but now my cares are gone and all my sorrows they are fled. Then adieu unto these cold chains and this cold strawy bed."
My name it is Jarvis the coachman, a coachman I've been for some years. I drive up and down and all over the town without any danger or fears. Some gentlemen travellers they hailed me, I stopped in the road for a fee, but if I had known what their plan was, old Nick should have driven them, not me. One night I was driving through Chelsea, a-driving along to me doom. 3 gentlemen travellers they hailed me, all for to be took to their home. They made me drive up by Old Highgate, till a man hung in chains I could see. But if I had known what their plan was, old Nick should have driven them, not me. They made me drive under the gibbet. They made me drive under it straight. And they swore I should climb to the top of it, or else my old neck they would break. They put a long rope round me middle, then they pulled me to the top of the tree. Then off with me coach and me horses, they galloped off most speedily. I whooped, I bawled, I hollered, till at length the bold butcher came by. I frightened the poor butcher's horses, for he thought 'twas a dead man's cry. Till at length the bold brickmaker came by. Then he cut me down from the tree. But if I had known what their game was, old Nick should have driven them, not me.
It's of a blind beggar, and he lost his sight. He had but one daughter, most beautiful, bright. Shall I seek my fortune, dear father, said she. The favour was granted to pretty Betsy. She set out for London, as I have heard say, and arrived in Romford that very same day. And when she come to my lord's house, so handsomely admired was pretty Betsy. She had not been there for no length of time, before a young lord a courting her came. Your clothes shall be lined with jewels, said he, if you will but love me, my pretty Betsy. It's all for to do it, I'm willing, said she. You must first ask the father of pretty Betsy. Then who is your father, pray tell unto me, that I may go with you your father to see. My father is every day to be seen. He is called the blind beggar of Bethnal Green. He is called the blind beggar, God knows, said she. He's been a good father to pretty Betsy. If you're a blind beggar's daughter, you won't do for me. A blind beggar's daughter, my lady shan't be. A blind beggar's daughter, my lady shan't be. So scornfully turned from his pretty Betsy. Then up spake a young squire with riches enough. If she's a blind beggar's daughter, she's never the worse. Your clothes shall be lined with jewels, said he, if you will but love me, my pretty Betsy. Your daughter's not clothed as fine as can be, for it's I will drop guineas for her, said he. These guineas he dropped, and they dropped on the ground. He dropped till he dropped 10,000 pounds. Dear honoured father, I've dropped all me store. I've dropped all me riches, and I can't drop no more. But grant me your daughter, 'cause that's all I crave, that I might be married to pretty Betsy. Oh, take her and make her your lady so bright. There's many a lord that will owe you great spite, and when you are married I will lay her down 10,000 bright guineas to buy her a gown. It's Billy and Betsy, to church they did go. It's Billy and Betsy, and they cut a fine show. The most beautiful creature that ever was seen was the blind beggar's daughter of Bethnal Green.
Your gallants and your swaggering blaze, give ear unto me, deity. I am a boon companion known in country, town or city. I always love to wear good clothes and ever scorn to take blows. I am beloved of all me know, but God a mercy penny. Me father was a man well known that used to hoard up money. His bags of gold, he said to him, more sweeter were than honey. But I, his son, will let it fly in tavern or ordinary. I am beloved in company, but God a mercy penny. All parts of London I have tried, where merchants' wares are plenty. The Royal Exchange and fair Cheapside, where speech is fine and dainty. They bring me in for to behold their shops of silver and the gold. Where might I choose what wares I would, but God a mercy penny. For my contentment once a day I walk for recreation through Paul's Ludgate and Fleet Street Gate to raise an elevation. Sometimes me humour is to range to Temple Strand and New Exchange to see their fashions rare and strange, but God a mercy penny. The famous Abbey I have seen and have the pictures viewed of many a noble king and queen which are by death subdued. And having seen the sights most rare, the watermen fully ready were me o'er the river Thames to bear, but God a mercy penny. Bear garden when I do frequent o'er the globe on the bankside, afford to me most rare content as I full oft have tried. The best pastime that they can make they instantly will undertake for my delight and pleasure's sake, but God a mercy penny. Good fellows' company I used, as also honest women. The painted drabs I still refuse, and wenches that are common. Their luring looks I do despise, they seem so lonesome in me eyes. Yet one a project did devise to gull me of me penny. One evening as I passed along, a lass with borrowed hair was singing of a tempting song. Kind sir, quoth she, draw near. But he who bites this rotten crab may after chance to catch the scab. No pander board nor painted drab shall gull me of me penny. But curled hair and painted face I ever have refrained. All those that get their living base in heart I have disdained. Me conscience is not stained with pitch, no tempting tongue shall me bewitch. I'll make no punk nor pander rich, I'll rather keep me penny. Thus to conclude as I begun, I wholly am inclined, wishing that each true-hearted man a faithful friend may find. You that me verses stay to hear, draw money for to buy me beer. The price of it is not too dear, till cost you but a penny.
the money. She gave his hand a very hard squeeze, and that so pleased poor Georgie Barnell that together he knocked his knees. And soon this woman did persuade him with their enervating pipes to go down into the country and there let loose his uncle's tribes. He found his uncle in the grocer, studying over his good books, and Georgie Barnell went and shot him all among the crows and rooks.
And then the lawyers cry and ramble up and down. We know not the way to Westminster, now Charing Cross is down. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. When at the bottom of the Strand they all are at a loss, that's not the way to Westminster, we must go by Charing Cross. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. The Parliament did vote it down, a thing they thought most fitting, for fear its fall should kill them all in the House as they were sitting. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. Some letters about this cross were found, or else it had been freed. But I'll declare, and I'll even swear, that it could not write or read. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. The Whigs they do affirm and say to Popery it was bent. For aught I know, it may be so, for the church it never went. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. The lawless rump and rebellious crew, they were so damn hard-hearted, they passed a vote that Charing Cross should be taken down and carted. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump. Now, Whigs, I will advise you all what I would have you do. For fear the king should come again, pray pull down Tyburn too. Then fare thee well, old Charing Cross, then fare thee well, old Stump. Thou wast a thing set up by a king, and so pulled down by the rump.